who understands, who can communicate, and who can only do as they're told. God, knowing what we as humans and jinn will choose, because he gave us freedom of choice. If he wanted us to not make any mistakes, and if he wanted us all to believe, he could, but he chooses not to, because he's the creator. By definition, he likes to create different things, not the same thing over and over again. If he wanted to create a being that does not disobey him, well, he already created that. They're called angels. So God wanted to create a being that can believe in him if they so wish, and disbelieve in him if they so wish. That being was called jinn. That's right, jinn, like genie in a bottle. Those jinn had willpower. They could choose to obey or disobey. Therefore, they could choose heaven or hell. Them ending up in hellfire is not on God. God gave them a huge gift that he didn't even give to angels, the freedom to choose. Because it's one thing being loved by a being that cannot help but love you, and another thing being loved by a being who chooses to love you. Now, jinn were that creation that can choose good or choose evil. Now, these beings predominantly chose evil, and thus God decreed one of his signature decisions, one of his universal laws, that if a group of people or a nation or a species even chooses collectively to disobey him, he will replace them by another being that they looked down upon. Again, this is God's signature in creation. When a group of people or a group of anything, jinn, choose to disobey him, and they have way more bad than good, then he replaces them with another creation that they look down upon. And that's when God decided to send angels to purify earth from jinn and their corruption. He sent angels to fight them in an epic battle, to prepare earth for the replacement, for the heir of earth, for the heir of earth to be created and sent on earth for a mission to spread God's will, God's way, and to fight against corruption and fix it, to build earth and make it a place of justice, a place of worship, a place of prosperity, a place of harmony, a place of balance. Now, jinn kind were not happy, of course. One of them was taken on purpose up to heaven after this epic battle between angels and demons, jinn, took place way before humans first touched planet Earth. During that battle, most of jinn kind were no longer. Some of them managed to hide in caves in very high mountains, and some of them even in the depths of the ocean. Now, one of them was still a baby. This story of the battle between angels and jinn is not from Islam. This is something that I read from Judaism and Christianity. But since it does not contradict with the Quran, it could be true, could be not true. Oh, first of all, I don't allow colonizer flags here, so if you would please leave us, thank you. Okay, so what I read is that Angel Gabriel, he saw a little jinn, a baby jinn, and he felt compassion towards it, so he took it with God's permission up to heaven to raise it the angelic way, to worship like angels. Now, God has predestined this for a reason, and you will know the reason quite soon. So, Satan was raised as an angel, but he was well aware that he is not an angel. He had free will. He chose to do good. And there's a lesson here that for you to do good, you have to have good companion. If your friends are evil and wrongdoers and troublemakers, you're probably gonna be one of them. So if you want to become a better person, if you want to change your habits, you have to change your surroundings. You have to change your circle of friends. Anyways, Satan himself, the source of evil, was worshipping just as good as angels. This is the power of peer pressure. Positive, constructive peer pressure. Surrounding yourself with the right crowd. So he was worshipping like them, and God has made him one of the close ones to the throne of God, because unlike angels, he chose to be worshipping like angels. He wasn't compelled. It wasn't compulsory for him. He did it on his own, which made him deserve being close to the throne of God. Now, God let him exist in heaven for a reason, because God was setting the hierarchy. He wanted to send a message to humans that humans are higher to him than angels and jinn. So when God created Adam, he told angels and Iblis, Satan, to bow down to Adam. Why? Because how else would we know that we should not bow down to jinn if that instance did not happen? If Satan was not in heaven, then we could have been fooled into believing that jinn kind, because they can see us and we can't see them, and because they're advanced in magic, we could have been fooled into thinking that they're superior to us, that they are favored to God more than us. But God made it so that one of the jinn would exist on that very crucial moment in human history, when angels were bowing down to Adam by the trillions of trillions of trillions, bowing down to Adam, and one of them refused. Imagine the scene. God not bowing down, Adam not bowing down, Satan not bowing down, although he was commanded to bow down. That is a lesson for us to know who is superior. Angels, jinn, humans. Anyways, your question is, why did God create the disbelievers if they are only created to end up in hellfire anyways? First of all, God never forced them. He gave them the gift of free will. They chose to abuse it. That's on them. Second of all is, God creates evil as a gym like dumbbells, for the believers to practice on. Meaning, how can we practice forgiveness if no one hurts us? How can we practice piety when no one tempts us to cheat? How can God